at this point in this exercise, um, at this point in the exercise, we are currently on this screen here. So this weekly wins tracker. So initially, it started off as a Kanban board where it was gonna honestly just track things that I had to do for the week. It was very after as I was building it with Claude, we realized it didn't actually solve any sort of problem, which is fine. Sometimes it's fine to build things that don't solve problems, and are just fun. Um, so that's where I'm currently at. I'm just building for fun now. But yeah, Claude was just like, I don't see the um, the the problem that we're solving in this. It doesn't really seem viable. I'm like, you're not wrong, because why would I add all of my tasks to a Kanban board view and then like print out that view on a physical piece of paper, stick it to my wall, and then I can't like move the cards around. I'd have to like, I guess, like draw lines, maybe going from like this task was done on Monday or this task was done on Thursday. But then there's like this other kind of step there, which is like, what happens once I do my task for the week and I put them in the columns they need to be at. I then have to transfer that back to digital if I want to, or maybe I don't. But we kind of basically we pivoted over to something just for fun, which is this weekly wins tracker, which basically is gonna allow me to log every day of the week any wins that I have. And there's a few examples down here of things like finished the blog post, had a great conversation with my partner, took a real lunch break. Thank you, Claude. These are all Claude generated too. Walked in the morning instead of scrolling. So like those are just examples of like wins, and this is interesting because like part of my whole like philosophy of life is to slow down and like do intentional things and like prioritize yourself basically. So we tend to forget all of the amazing things we do on a weekly basis, and something my partner does, which I don't really do. I think it's really cool that she does it, and I look up to her for it. Is that she'll kind of like midweek or something go back earlier to the week and just write down like things that she like accomplished that resonated with her or fulfilled her heart, right? Or just for just really good things that got done. And so, as I was talking to Claude, we obviously started off with like the pivot, a weekly wins tracker, got the zip down, put it into my VS Code. They also built out a whole entire README, which if you don't know what a README is, I would just say it's like an outline, a specification of what exactly this code does. And this little kind of quote at the bottom, built for people who are building things intentionally, slowly, and need reminders that they're making progress, is really cute. I also told it to kind of be more vibrant, which it did its best. I, improvements can be made, but this is not bad. So thank you. And so now, instead of the earlier kind of product, which was planning content, all we're going to do is celebrate progress. So this is all about celebration. This is all about confettis. Only confetti. So start of the week, list potential wins. That's an optional kind of thing that we could do. Each evening, I'm not going to make people do this each evening, but it's more so like it's there if like you remember at 8 p.m. that you did a cool thing. You handwrite today's win, and at the end of the week, keep it as proof of progress. So this is all good, dandy, etc. The thing is that again, this is what happens with this one. So let's say this week I hung out with my mom, and I took a walk. Right? So those are my 2 minutes of the week. So this is great, right? I click on generate board and it does this. So I don't necessarily know how I would use this. Of course, I have ideas and things, but even as I think about them, if I have this here, right, and I say, okay, my wins for the week, so I hung out with my mom. Let's say that was on Wednesday, and then I took a walk on Sunday. So if I print this out today, today's Saturday, actually. Let's go. Let's redo this. Let's do this with Thursday. Okay, today's Saturday. So look back at the week. Wednesday, this is my win. Thursday, this was my win. Today's Saturday. So let's say I do download this as an image and I print it out and I put it on my wall. Now I have to like write. I guess I have to hand write my wins, which is not terrible. It's not bad at all. I think it's a good like MVP, I guess. But then it's like, why would I use this over just writing it down on a piece of paper? You know what I mean? Like, this requires me to go print it out. It's cool that it's like a nice little design, but like, I could have just also just printed out a blank template from Google or from Canva. So that's where I got kind of like, okay, I think it's neat. I don't know if I would go out of my way to use this, right? So where I'm at now is that I'm in VS Code, so I have all the code here that I generated. And I basically asked Claude, like, let's actually make this into a Chrome extension. So basically an extension where I can add my wins throughout the week, and then I can generate this view on Sunday, or whatever day the end of my week is, and that becomes kind of like my asset, right? That becomes an asset that I can either just save to a folder, and like over the year I can start to see all my wins for the week, or I can like print it out and like put it on my wall. Again, I don't think this is like groundbreaking, but this is just for fun. I think what's going to happen is that as I develop this a little bit more, so initially it started off as a Kanban board that didn't really make a lot of sense, turned into this view, right? It's a weekly view of my wins that apparently I was going to print out, and then handwrite things in. Then this has now turned into a Chrome extension where like, as I'm going about my week, I can start to add my wins, right, to this Chrome extension. It's going to start collecting them. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try that out. I'm going to basically try to ship this today, and then use it myself for like a week or two, and just see how it goes. It might flop. It might turn into something different, but like, that's where we're going to start. So where we are right now is that it's going to basically help me out on this. So do you have the weekly wins tracker folder open in VS Code? If so, we can convert it to a Chrome extension, or should I create a fresh Chrome extension project? So, and the approach it's going to take, it's going to allow me to have the Chrome extension. It's going to have a quick input. What's your win for the day? Click add win, saves with the timestamp of the day, and then shows the list of this week's wins. And then it'll have a button to generate the board, and that creates the visual. So my only gripe with this is that it's going to add the win. So if I add a win today, but it was a win from yesterday, it's going to think it's a win for today. So we're going to fix that. And then storage is going to save to my local storage, which is fine for now. It's going to be grouped by week. It's going to persist across browser sessions, okay? And then for generating the board, it's going to take all the wins from current week, create the colorful visual like we built, and then download that as a PNG. This way we can capture the wins of the moment, no forgetting what you did, still get the satisfying visual board, you're going to print it out, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're going to, before we do all that, I'm going to, before we go into VS Code, what happens if I forget to enter a win and add it a couple days later? Should we have some sort of solution? Okay. So I'm not going to give it the solution. I just want to see how it solves this. So we're going to see what it comes up with right now. All right, so give me two. Guys, do we need... Okay, it's giving me a lot of options. So we're going to actually... All right, so give me 4 options. I'm not going to go through each of them. And It's recommending option 4, which is don't worry about specific days when capturing, just save the wins with timestamps. When you generate the board, it shows week of November 25th and December 1st. Print shows them chronologically, or you handwrite which day on the printed version. Huh? Wait, trying to hold on. Okay, so you don't worry about the actual day. Print shows them chronologically, or you handwrite which day on the printed version. Oh, okay. It's not gonna tell me what day they happen. It's just okay. Interesting. Okay, that's kind of cool. So why it thinks this is the best is because timestamps preserve the truth. You're gonna just capture the win. Don't worry about categorizing. I like that. Flexible output. When you print, you can organize however it feels right, and then no guilt if you forget for 3 days. Just add them all. Timestamps for the real story. The extension becomes during the week. Quick capture. Sunday generate visual. Print it. Okay, we're gonna try this out and see what how this works. Option 4. Let's go to VS Code. I have an idea of like how this might look, but I'm very curious to see like what the output's gonna look like. And this is one of the interesting things about kind of using Claude and just AI in general for this stuff is like you can be very prescriptive with it. And of course, if I had a really clear goal, I would, I would be. But right now, like this whole entire context window that I have with Claude right now is like, it's both exploration, it's pivoting, and it's like trying things. So I'm kind of gonna let it lead a little bit because I I kind of trust where it's going. I trust where it's going. It called me out earlier about me not solving any problem with my earlier idea, and now we're kind of here at this step. So I'm curious to see like where this will go.
We'll find some actually. Just leave a comment. Peace. But yeah, that's all I had. I just wanted to share this because it was an interesting and fun experience. Yeah, solution, whatever, like was not good. Um, Secondly, I learned that like Claude will tell me if it thinks I'm wrong, which I like. And then third, I was able to decide kind of like where I wanted to go next with this, right? Like for some reason this past weekend, I was really proud of all the wins and all the things that I was able to like come to come to know and understand. And of course, in that is a mixture of things not working and it being frustrating and like talking to Claude and being kind of like, why are you telling me this is wrong? Like we just spent all this time working on this thing and now I have to go back and rework it. But that's part of the process. So I think this weekly wins Chrome extension is just fun. I don't necessarily think it'll become anything. Maybe it will, but like right now I can come in here and add in my weekly wins. Like this morning I went on a sunny walk, which just means the walk I did had a lot of sun from the sky. But but I think there's something to say about like building this, being able to click on this digital thing that I made with Claude. And then at the end of the week, right, the goal here is to like generate the board. And this gives you like a quick like, here are all the things you did this week. And I can download it as an image if I really wanted to and like, start collecting my sort of wins for the week and like I could print them out if I wanted to. I'm not gonna do that. But there might be somebody out there who does. Overall, like I wanted to show kind of the back and forth, the frustration that comes with just trying some of these tools. And like, I feel like I learned so much. And at the same time, like, I not only poured into my, AIPM stuff that I'm doing with one of my friends, but it's also like pouring into my own development as somebody who's still learning about the how to leverage AI as a person, but also as a teammate and also as a founder, right? And so this weekend was a lot of wins, a lot of like realizing that little things like this are wins, little moments, little interactions, whether it's digitally or with people, like those are all wins because we are all still learning something new about ourselves each time. And we're also contributing to the greater collection of ideas. So that's kind of what I wanted to share. And yeah, I hope it like, I don't know, makes you think That's all I can ask for. Made you think something.